Hi friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing the Booktube numbers tag, which is also a VR to Leo Bancroft, who tagged me sort of in the comments of one of my previous videos. So let's get right into the questions. The first one is, what was your first Booktube video? I did the Booktube newbie tag, like everybody, just introducing myself. I'll put a link in the cards to my booktube newbie tag. So the second question is, how many books are you currently reading? I'm actively reading 2 books. I'm reading Guardian of the Gold Breathers by Elise Stevens, and I'm reading Short Trips by Jamil Nasser. These are both part of my mini Read Palestinian Speculative Fiction Challenge. So these are both Palestinian writers. I don't usually read a whole lot at once, so 2 is about my speed. And I like Short Trips is a collection of short stories, so I can kind of dip in and out really easily while I'm working on the novel. What were the top 3 books you read last year? I had to go on Goodreads to find out what I read last year. I tend to DNF a lot of books because I don't have a lot of time to read something that I'm not enjoying. So there were a couple that were DNFs, but the top 3, I'll go from 3rd place up. They were all 3 were really powerful books for me in one way or another. They were all on my Kindle, so I can't show you. Maybe I can put the covers up here if I remember how to do that. So the 3rd one was a book about how to write asexual characters. I'm asexual and aromantic, and I found it a really good primer, just in general, about the aro-ace spectrum. And it's written in terms of the pitfalls that you could encounter as you're writing an asexual character, or some of the opportunities as well. So it wasn't prescriptive in the way that it sounds like it is going to be. And I think that just for somebody who doesn't really understand what asexuality is, it's a really good primer, which was surprising to me. And then in 2nd place was another surprising book. This one I read for my friend Katie Bayou's book club. It's called The Rumi Prescription. And it's essentially about this lovely memoir about the author and her father, and they're kind of bonding over the poetry of Rumi, and that he would actually prescribe certain poems to her for life's problems. And it was just so sweet. It was surprising in the sense that I came into it with this assumption that I really had difficulty with the bridge translations that are out there of Rumi, where someone has taken Rumi's poetry, which is in Farsi, and then translated it into English from Farsi. And then the bridge translator takes the English translation and then retranslates the English translation into a nicer English translation. So in fact, it's not a translation of the Farsi poetry, it's a translation of a translation, or an interpretation of a translation. So the one by Coleman Barks was something that I really was very hesitant to have anything to do with. And she actually speaks quite highly about this particular translation and talks about the way that it helps introduce people to Rumi. And it shifted a little bit my feelings. Like, I don't feel quite so strongly about it, but I still rank a little bit about him being called a translator when he's doing a bridge translation. I don't really vibe with that. So, although that aside, I did give the book 5 stars because it was just so sweet, and you just wanted to, that you have this little glimpse of their relationship through this book, and it was just lovely. And then the top book that I read was Heaven Official's Blessing, which is a Danmei book, which is a queer Chinese genre. And it's very hard to encapsulate because it's something like, I think it's 800 pages or more. It could be 1,000 pages long. It's a lot. It really bumped up my, may even be 2,000, I'm not sure, but it really bumped up my pages read, even though I've only read 5 novels this year. Um, and it's being turned into a live action drama. It's technically also part of the genre they call xianxia, which is like fantasy, sort of. It has supernatural elements in it, but it's really definitely grounded in like Taoism and Buddhism and Chinese culture rather than just general fantasy tropes and things. So it's something very complex and nuanced, and it's very philosophical as well. Even though it's I guess it would be categorized as a romance, if we're just looking at it from Western genres, fantasy romance, I guess. Um, so, how many books have you rated as 5 stars this year? I just rated one 5 stars, which was, I think I have it here. Yes, I do. Palestine Plus 100, Stories from a Century After the Nakba. And it was very heavy reading. This is dystopian, near future Palestinian speculative short stories about 100 years after the expulsion of the Palestinians in 1948. And so they're very bleak, very hard to read all in one sitting, at least for me. But it was like very high caliber stories, which usually collections tend to be a little uneven, but this was very, very good. So I gave it 5 stars. Do you have a reading target for this year? Are you on track? I don't have a target for this year, although I'm trying to read um, a certain number of novels from the reading list that I have for the Palestinian Speculative Fiction Challenge. And I'm on track. I'm also trying to read a book a week, but very generally, like not. I'm not keeping myself to it as a goal. So I guess it would be 52 for the year, but I don't know. It depends because I have some that are very long and some that are very short. So just whatever I get through. I'm not going to hold myself to something really rigid. Um, how many pages long is the book you are reading now? Um, well, The Guardian of the Gold Breathers is 171 pages. And let's see. How long are my videos? They tend to be 10 to 15 minutes. And I like to keep them that length because I know from my past career as a university lecturer that the the attention span of people tends to be 15 minutes. And so you have to kind of break things up into 10-15 minute chunks. Just sitting down and listening to something for like half an hour even if it's very interesting and is like right up your street, is difficult to maintain that level of focus. But they just tend to be 10 to 15 minutes anyway. Like, I have that much focus to sit down and talk to you about things for 10, 15 minutes. You get what I'm saying? Um, do I have a favorite number? I'm partial to 5, I guess. And the last question is, do I have a book on my shelves with a number in the title or on the cover? And again, we have our Palestine plus 100. This is the only one, I think, that has a number on it. Yes. So that was the numbers tag. Thank you, Leo. This was really fun. I hope to do some more tags in the future. So let me know. Oh, I need to tag people, don't I? I'll tag some people in the description. So you might want to check that out to see if your channel is on the list for a tag. All right, see you next time. Bye.